past director of the Philadelphia Police Advisory Commission.
So the complete for employees would be treated the same way as a complete would in any other city department. So to some degree there would be maybe an internal way of looking at it, but otherwise it would go through MDOHR, or if it was an EEO complete, it would go through labor relations.
Thank you. All right, so there is a process. All right, so let me ask another question, because we got the Aztecs here. They've been, let me tell you, you all are outstanding, because if I was your age sitting in this room, I'd be going crazy. So we're going to get you back to the food in just a minute. But before we do, we have a couple more questions for our directors. Is that all right, Aztecs? All good. When's your next game?
20th.
All right, okay.
Saturday.
Yeah, it's all right though. So, all right, here's a question. This is, so when you get involved in the state legislative work, because one of the big problems that many of us agree on in the city is that Act 111, which is what often people don't understand. The police officer is charged, they're fired by the department don't want them, somehow they get their job back in, back pay, and everybody keeps asking, how's it happen? Act 111 does that. Have you given any thought when your department engaged in that at all?
I'm not sure. I think right now that's not on our radar to engage. I think that we have enough just to try to do the oversight and to make sure that they're following all their rules and procedures and doing things that they do. But one of the visions for this office is that nothing happens about policing in the city of Philadelphia without an eye on it. So because I know that this is a hot button issue, I can't say that we won't ever get into the fight, but I think that this is something that we have to consider in terms of what our capacity is and our resources.
Okay. So one other question here around de-escalation. Do you envision working with the PPD around just around that whole issue, and better approaches toward de-escalation as opposed to, we just heard that story, that's just the opposite of it, right? You get called to help somebody, and before you know it, you're like in an altercation with the person. So how do you envision that relationship?
That's going to be really important for us. One of the things I gave to the agreement only half her title. She's the Director of Outreach and Training. And so one of the things that we're going to be doing as an office and as a commission is actually starting to get out more to the academy. We want to see how these officers are trained, because this is a serious issue, not only in Philadelphia but across the country. Because sometimes these uses of force shouldn't have even been a use of force. But like, how do we get from A to Z? Like, what happened with the de-escalation? Like, if somebody's a hothead, technically it's not right? But I should be able to come up technically and stand in your face and cuss you out. I'm not saying it's right, but if you won't lose your head every time somebody, steps over a line on the sidewalk, then this may not be the career for you. And so a lot of things, a lot of cases where people have lost their lives or been seriously injured have been because of lack of de-escalation. So one of our jobs is going to be to look at their training, see what they can do, but also part of the job is to recommend national standards and hope that they get in line with them. And so that is one of the things that we're going to be definitely looking at to see if we can bring them some more insight on these cases that are happening and they could have been de-escalated.
Okay, thank you. That's a great answer. All right, so we're finished now, but I want to give you the last word because we want people to meet and reach you. There's a step and repeat outside that has CPOC on it, so I'd love to get you to do some selfies with people, and people can hashtag the CPOC and all of that as well on social media. But last word for you, how are you feeling going forward? We talked about the heaviness of this work, but are you optimistic? Are you excited? How do you see this going?
I am really excited. But what I would ask of all of you is to partner with us, right? Even though 2019, we are still a baby agency. We are still growing and learning. And so we're going to have some missteps, right? We probably remember I said the days that y'all will be mad at us, right? But come and talk to us. One of the things that we will always have is open doors. And so that doesn't mean just come to our office. We will come out to your communities. You can call me up and say, hey, Director McClary, we were feeling some kind of way. Why weren't you here? Why do you do these things? And so we still early on. So partner with us, right? Help us to do, because the one thing that term community policing, but we also don't talk about community-led policing. That's very different. A lot of times you already know what you need in your communities. And so it's not about us coming in from CPOC telling you this is what needs to happen. It's with us listening and us being that bridge between the community and the police department. So give us some grace, challenge us though to get better, but help us get better. We have volunteers, looking at the young people, we do internships, because we want to see some of you doing this work, right? We want to see some of you. We're thinking about maybe setting up some neighborhood community centers where people can come in and buy the places, because we're trying to dream big, right? So that we can do what we need to do for you. So bring us your ideas, tell us, hey, come to our community, hear what we got to say, help us figure it out. So give us grace, challenge us, but also, most importantly, walk with us. Walk with us so that we can have the biggest impact in this city. Because the bottom line is, the better they are, the better it is for you. And so we want you to walk with us on this journey as we continue to just move forward on this side here in Philadelphia.
All right, oh, 1 second. Before you applaud and we let her go, Hassan Bennett looks like he's going to have the last words. I don't want people to just take off. But can we give a big Philly round of applause to Executive Director Tanya and Clarence?
And I also want to say, I'm giving a shout out to the young people. I'm serious about that. I'm come out there. Y'all want me to play basketball, do tournaments, double dutch. I'm out there. I'm a little old, but I'm gonna roll with y'all, okay?
So before we leave out, as I plan to see, has a gift for you.
Coach Mitch, when is homecoming?
It's going to be the fourth week of the season, but they haven't confirmed the actual schedule of the league. But it's going to be a week after the.
Brian, we locked in, yo. You ain't got to do all this again. We locked in. So before we leave, closing remarks. I want to thank the outreach team for helping us put this together. Come on. And I also want to acknowledge Celia Grimmett. I did a little study about being a chair commissioner, right? And they said, as the chair, I gotta host all these meetings, right? I gotta talk to y'all. So y'all hear a lot of my face, but tonight, I always like to give my fellow commissioner a chance to speak because he often feels silent. So with the closing remarks, I am going to designate Commissioner Elder Melanie Du Bois. Escorting her over is Commissioner John Solomon.
If you can see me, clap once. If I'm looking good, clap again. I just want y'all to know we're fired up and we're ready to move. We've been moving all along. But today, can't you see a brand new day? Don't let the blindness fool you. You told me you can see me, but I want you to know that we can see you. And we stand as commissioners, and I want you to understand unequivocally, we are not anti-police, but we are pro-justice. And the justice is not meant for them, it is also meant for me and for you. Are you with that? I want to close by saying we are ecstatic about Director McClary. Can't you tell she's fired up? Can't you tell that with us and with her and with the staff, we're not taking
Anthony, can you step aside, please? Yes. Anthony was our interim executive director when we were appointed. He has been our interim since April 18, 2022. Anthony, we want to thank you. I want to thank you personally. We also have a signed legislation by Councilman Jones and Honorable, I can't forget she's a judge now, Honorable Samantha Williams. So I want to thank you. That's what I get for you. And with that, give yourself a round of applause. Thank you for coming out. We're ready to have time with our executive council, with the CPOC staff members, and with the commissioners as well. I gotta go back and talk to my high school principal.